Vin, with Bloodshot, I know you are a big comic fan, you're a big fantasy fan,
Sure.
and I feel like you can really have your pick at roles at this point. So what was it that made you look at Valiant and Bloodshot and say, I want to play this guy, I want to bring him to life for the first time?
Well, first of all, Brandon, I've been lucky enough to be offered other superheroes before. This was different. It's only the second pre-existing character I've ever played. Groot being the first, this being the second. You know, I like to champion the underdog. It's kind of who I am, where I'm from. New York Times bestseller for a reason. The subject matters. The way in which these superheroes are born in the Valiant universe is different than what we've grown accustomed to in the DC and Marvel universe. This is not somebody consciously aware of some preconceived idea of heroism. It's a person that is imprisoned by this manipulation, tortured by these horrific memories that are implanted, that eventually just has to pull a Spartacus and break free from it. So you don't really ever sense a true altruistic. It's just the basic desire to be free. And isn't that bizarre? That basic idea, that basic concept of freedom allows him to be called a superhero.
Yeah.
That's unique to me.
His motivations are different,
The motivations are different.
Yeah,
that makes a compelling story.
Yeah.
That's
so
why.
That Valiant universe, I mean, I know you're familiar with it. It's rich with great characters like you were just touching on. Did you guys ever consider like bringing in somebody like Ninjak or wanting to do something like that if this goes on to become something bigger in the future?
For sure.
That'd be so cool.
For sure. I think that this is, and obviously, Brandon, that's part of that was part of the pressure going in on this. We're going, oh my God. So we all want this Valiant cinematic universe to be born, to live, and it all starts with this, and this was the first movie that Valiant ever agreed to make. They've always been reserved about entering into the world of cinema, and so the pressure was on to make something special, and the fact that you saw it and that you feel about it means everything to me.
I had a good time watching, man. I hope this is just the beginning for you.
That's awesome.
And I do have to ask before I go out of here, with other roles you're familiar with, Groot in the Marvel world. Have you seen any scripts there? We know you're going to say I am Groot, but what can we expect if we see again? What version of that character are you hoping to bring to life?
Well, I'm waiting and excited for my friend James Gunn to knock this next one out of the park. I just finished Suicide Squad, so he's about to embark on it. Thor will also, the director talked to me about how Thor will incorporate some of the Guardians of the Galaxy, which would be very interesting. Nobody knows, but maybe I shouldn't have said anything. But I only have two words about that character, and it is Alpha Groot.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing?
Hey.
How's it going?
Thank you for having us here. I had a lot of fun watching Bloodshot, so I'm excited to talk to y'all about it.
Nice.
First of all, I want to start with you, Lamorne. Mm-hmm. You had an English accent in this movie, and I was like, hold on, Winston is talking with an English accent now. What's going on? Talk to me about just honing that and bringing that to life.
That's like my proper dialect, really. It is. It's just something that I do.
Wait, you're not British?
No, actually, no. It's just something I do for fun, and I goof off with my friends. We play around with accents and stuff. A lot of my friends are British, so when I got the opportunity to do it, I was like, yeah, dog, let's get that done, and let's steal some roles from them.
Yes, good job.
You did a great job, and I thought you brought a lot of energy to the movie, so that was fun.
Thank you.
Eiza, you are playing so many badass characters now, and KT is no exception, but I feel like you're just getting more and more badass as your career goes on. So in what ways did playing KT kind of challenge you that other roles might not have? What did you have to do that was new for you?
Well, this time around, it was the first time that I was playing a character that was not necessarily like side chick to a dude, which was incredible. I feel like in everything else that I've done, part of being part of these incredible movies has been that it's big ensemble cast, and so you have a little bit to do in these scenes, and this character gave so much more for me to play with. I had emotional depth to the character. I feel like I had always been like kind of really badass in the last few things that I've done, but not really emotional, and this allowed audiences to see me in a different light and be a little bit more like vulnerable, and she has a lot of vulnerability to her, even though she's obviously fit and is a female soldier which is already pretty impressive, right? So it was exciting to kind of dive into the more emotional side.
Yeah, and you did a really good job on both the physical stuff and the emotional stuff. I just wanted to compliment you on that.
Thank you. That's
She's
sweet of you.
definitely the most badass in this movie.
That's not
She
true.
kills it. But I mean, speaking of badass, Sam, you were no stranger to it either. You're wearing like this crazy Doc Ock rig looking thing.
Thanks, man.
By the end of it. I just want to hear, what was it like? Were you actually wearing something? Did any of that actually exist? And how did they kind of pull off, like making you climb walls and do all that crazy stuff?
Yeah, no, I actually, we had this amazing suit that's built by Weta. And actually, initially, when we started shooting, we had puppeteers, and all these arms were actually moving, and we started to shoot it like that. We realized after a while, 6 guys trying to work on this fight, operating all these arms is pretty difficult. So eventually it was just the backpack, and they CGI'd the arms, but actually that makes it even harder because you're having to imagine where your arm is hitting, and then they're reacting to that. But yeah, it was cool. And as for the climbing, that was kind of some wire work we did, which was really fun as well.
Wow, that sounds pretty wild on set. So now that we've all seen the movie and we see how technology kind of manipulated Bloodshot, where he might have thought he was in control, has it made you kind of go back and look at like, oh, everything I see on Instagram is a lie? Has it kind of influenced your view of technology at all?
It already has in a way for me. It definitely already has. And we talked about this before, how much it influences your life without you even paying attention to it. It makes decisions for you. Literally, it wipes your ass for you, technology, with these futuristic toilets.
I got a toilet that does that.
Yeah, I do too. And let me tell you something. It's better to do it yourself.
Awesome.
I'm telling you.
These men nowadays, I like doing old stuff.
How did we get here?
But you brought it up.
Yeah, this is my fault.
Technology.
This is why we're not shaking hands today,
Yes,
really.
exactly.
That's the real reason. I'll tell you that.
We were the originators of coronavirus.
Yes.
Sorry.
You're in
They
the
said
epicenter, right?
I'm clear. I didn't say it. If now that you know the powers that Bloodshot has, and a couple of you have gone face to face with him, I don't want to spoil anything. If you had to be another superhero you're familiar with to fight a guy like that, who would you be?
Ooh, if I had to be a superhero to fight him.
Against Bloodshot.
You gotta. I think he just. There's only one person that stacks up against Bloodshot, and that's Superman.
Superman?
Yeah, I think because he can't kill him,
Yeah.
right? And it's the same with Superman. So I would love to see those two go up against each other.
Yeah.
Cool.
He'd beat the shit out of Batman.
I'd be, yeah, he wouldn't have a chance. I think I'd be Thor, because he has that big, the hammer, and like I'd be a female version of that. I feel like because the other worldly powers and all that could potentially destroy something that is in this world.
There's a kryptonite. There's always a kryptonite.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Just because I want to
You want the lasso?
see her fight.
Yeah.
You mean you want to be Wonder Woman, or you want to be
I want to
Wonder
fight
Woman?
Wonder Woman, yeah.
Oh, that wasn't the question.
Oh,
but
it
great.
wasn't? Oh, okay, what was the question?
Who would you be to fight Bloodshot?
Who would I want to be? I
Or
would
you
be
could
Wonder
be
He
Woman.
said,
Woman.
I would be
Be
Gal
Wonder.
I would
Gadot.
love to go as Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
You'd be a great
All right.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Thanks,
That's
man.
just